Hey guys, EctoMaster here. Just want to say this. The following is entirely early, in progress, or late beta footage. Anything and everything beyond this point will contain spoilers for the upcoming expansion pack, World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor. Thanks for watching and your support. Now let's get to the good stuff.
Speak, friend.
Hey there guys, EctoMaster here with another edition of the Wednesday morning beta tester. Following around my Death Knight here, if you watch some of the top 10 video, this is her doing some of the Frostfire beginning quest. Believe it or not, it only takes about under half an hour to get to the main story parts of this. To do the whole beginning of it is just to build up your, start up your garrison. And don't mind me as I turn on the add-ons that I actually don't turn all the way on. I just enable them. And don't mind me when I die. Because that's going to happen too. Anyways, this is where I take a seat back, or a back seat, and I look at some of the stuff that's come out. Some of the things that are going on in the game, in the beta. Some of the things I thought were amusing. Some of the ones that I thought were fun. And I know I didn't do one last week because I just didn't think there was that many changes. One thing I did notice in the beta thus far is that you no longer teleport to the blasted lands when you use the dark portal in Orgrimmar or Stormwind. Instead, it sends you right to the very steps of Outlands. So you go right there, right to it. Now, if you go out, you end up in the Outlands, of course. But they also have portals back to Orgrimmar, back to Stormwind. One of the most interesting bugs that I've seen thus far is actually this one right here that we're about to see. And that's where this, level 92 is just chilling inside of the rocks. It decides to eat your face. And I think I'm doing fine, and then the next thing I know, I'm dead. Yeah, that's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's the second time I've run into that. And it's not because, hey, I'm under-geared or anything like that. It's just that it surprises you. You're kind of thrown for a loop for a minute, and he hits very, very hard. Those same mobs in the same area tend to... There's few others I got into a rather large aggro radius for. And not in this video, but and not on this tune, but on another. And it ended up killing me then as well. It's rather interesting. And don't mind me, again, I'm floating around looking for all of my text labels and whatnot are missing, and this is just me trying to find them again. Because silly me, I forgot to turn them on. Anyways, there's really not much. There's rumors that they're wanting to open up Talador and open up a few of the other places. I'm trying to think. Gorgrond are next. So those two are looking to be the next areas. And of course, with that will be the increased leveling or level cap. Right now, it's still at 92. It might be 93 by now, but I think it's still 92. Although I don't have a tune that's around there, and I haven't really completed any of the areas yet. Again, I am going between showing you, getting stuff for you guys, and working on it myself. And between the two of them, I just haven't been able to do it. And I'm thinking I might end up doing just one, maybe just the Alliance. I'm not sure yet. Again, I have to divide my time between work and play, and I don't get a whole lot of play time to play around with. Anyways, I mean, there's just not much to go on. The garrisons are up to tier 2. In fact, there's a quest that I get right off the bat here. Bigger is better. And that's to raise your garrison to tier 2. And I have yet to do that on any of my characters. So, that's one that I'm also working on. So, we'll see if I can do that. I kind of want to do the Alliance side because all of my main characters are Horde. So, I may do Alien, whatever her name is. We may do her and see how things go from that. One thing I noticed when doing this, they actually gave the orcs voices, which you can hear in the background. We go, okay, okie dokie. Me not that type of orc. That type of thing. A lot of these mobs are still public, so not only are they still public, but they spawn rather rapidly. So that's still happening. One bug I'm glad is fixed is the mount bug. This beta test has been very interesting, in that typically they would put out an update every week, but they're putting out an update almost every few days. Sometimes just to fix minor bugs, sometimes to fix, sometimes it's the next build. So it's about every week they're putting out the next build, and it used to be every Thursday, and it's looking like it's every Wednesday now, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm just trying to think of everything else there is. They gave Khadgar a new look. They gave the Dark Portal a new look. They put in the new beta, the new player models for the Undead female and the Janai females. Those were all active. Although we may see this here in a little bit. I'm not sure, because I recorded about almost a half an hour worth of footage. I don't know if we'll see all of that. Because, again, I don't have much to report on. I'm glad the community has kind of calmed down a little bit. Nobody is freaking out over the fact that things aren't working properly in a beta. And it's like, guy, I'm very, very glad. I don't think I had anything to do with it. I highly doubt I did. But I want to thank the community for calming your butts, because you didn't need to. No need to freak out over something we can't control, such as the fact that it's a beta. We signed on for this. We are here to test reports and give our feedback, not bitch and moan that it's not working because it's in beta. As you saw, sorry, I'm doing this kind of late for me. As you saw, there was a dude that was kind of stuck in the rocks, and I just skirted them easily. Don't need to get my face chewed off for a second time. This quest is still a pop-up where it's there. You have to go to it to get it, and it's not really it's not a quest that is it just you pick it up. You have to go to the area to get it. That would mean if you weren't aware of this quest, you wouldn't be able to do it, because if you didn't, obviously now that there's plenty of videos about this out there, that you know that it's there, you can go, you can do it. But if it wasn't for those videos, you would have to discover it on your own. And the way that the mobs have been spawning outside of here, you have no real reason to go into here to chase down the mobs for, which one is it? A Gronling problem. It would be nice if they had more Gronlings in here, or if they actually just handed you this quest rather than walking in to take care of it. Otherwise, nobody would go in there. I stumbled into it. The first time that I got it was actually by accident. I was looking for more Gronlings because everybody was hanging out by the main area. And even though they were public, I was just wondering if there's more areas for them. And lo and behold, I stumbled upon this one. Sorry, I am yawning while I am talking about this. I am very proud of myself. We're going into a little bit of personal stuff, but I have not had a whole lot of soda over the last 2 days, which has cut down on my caffeine intake, which is making me a little more tired a lot earlier in the day, like 9:30 at night. So, yay for me. Other than that, there's not much. As I said, I've said this like multiple times now. There's not much from me personally to report on. I pretty much always get to the same spot and then just stop. And I don't know why. All the tunes are the same. It's like, all right, I'm going to get here, and I'll pick up right from here. And then next thing I know, it's like, I was going to do something, wasn't I? Can I remember what that was? What was it that I was going to do? I think somebody saw this, and they saw my my Army of the Dead, because somebody asked Blood DK in, a little bit, and I was like, I didn't know if they were talking to me or not, but I know they were saying that they wanted to make Blood DKs the only ones who summon Army of the Dead. I'm running around as Frost, and I can still summon Army of the Dead. I no longer have Summon Minion, or Raise Minion, or Raise Ghoul. I do have Raise Ally still, so that's still there. One thing I do like, if you watch the ground on this, where some of the trees that I had chopped down, you can see the, oh boy! You can see the shadow where the tree is actually getting chopped. and it's shaking on the ground. So I like that little bit of extra that they put into it. They didn't have to do that. They could have, but they very well they did, and it's pretty cool. This is still one of my favorite quests, of course. It's the fireworks quest, where you go and signal them to start working. I was waiting for it to phase in. There it goes. It took a minute. And you push the little button, and the fireworks go off, and everybody starts building. And it's all built. Ta-da! I still find it rather odd with this area in that you have the two entrances almost side by side, and one's called the front, one's called the back. And I really just don't know why, especially when you have quests that go around where the fire is, and it's towards the back of it. Like right where that little hut is, there's like a quest that leads back past there, and it's like, really? Couldn't have given me like an actual back door? No, it's like a side door and a front door. Anyways, I'm trying to think of anything else that I've... They definitely, they've changed one other thing in this, with in regards to the missions that you get your little minions to go out and do. And that's, instead of dragging a model across, it's just like a portrait, and it's just dragged across. Which is kind of sad, because I kind of like dragging a little person across. It's like, hey, they picked me up, no, let me go, and then you drop them down, they're like, oh, okay. So I got another Hearthstone, which brings you back to your garrison. I don't know what that's for, seeing as you can bind at your garrison. And for the most part, everything just has you come back to your garrison anyways. If you log out and you're not at your garrison, you just come back to your garrison. Or if you get DC'd, you just come back to your garrison. One thing, we're about to see an interesting bug here. It's a texture bug. Not from Skagit, but from Lady Senna. And Lady Senna, you're looking kind of awkward. As is your buddy, by the way, now that I look at it. He's looking a little weird, too. Oh boy, you guys, there's a bug. There's an interesting bug. Anyways, that's about it, guys. I can't wait for the next build. I can't wait to get further into this, honestly. I know I will be doing more, I promise that. I may be switching just to Alliance. I'm not sure. And maybe highlighting some stuff as Horde. Again, I'm not too sure just yet, as I need to make these decisions. I don't want to ruin too much for myself, because I want to play the game when it comes out. And if I played it, during beta, and I beat everything during beta, and then it's just like, I don't want to do it again. It's kind of like leveling an alt, and it's not an alt. It's an actual, you're actually leveling. And I don't want to do that, especially if all my mains are Horde. If I can play the Alliance, that'd be a little bit better. But that's all I have for this week, guys. If there's anything you would like to see, I'm trying to get the dungeon videos. The first dungeon that I went into, this is what happened. I got into it, I started recording it, everything was fine. It's like everybody's first time. There's no DBM, there's no heal bot, there's no add-ons or anything like that. Add-ons are now enabled, which is great, but when I went to do it, there was no add-ons enabled. We went up against the first boss. We died. We went to go back in. We all DC'd. Had to come back on. And when I got back, it was like me and one other guy. And everybody else was still DC'd and couldn't come back in. And that was our dungeon run. Needless to say, I didn't stick around for much longer. I was like, okay, well, this is heavily bugged. It was reported, and that was that. And that was my dungeon run. So I'm trying to find time to fit it in. There's other things that do need to happen, of course. The reason I avoided down there, all those boxes down there, that's great. But you see those guys that are flying around, I'm trying to stay away from them. They apparently have a very large aggro radius down there. That was like the second time that I got my face chewed off by one of those creatures. The first time was at the one on the road. Anyways, Again, that's all I have for this week. I'll be back again next week with another Monday morning. Wow. I was going Monday morning quarterback. Here we go. Improved diseases. That's a Draenor perk that you get. Increases damage done by your diseases by 20%. Nice. But we'll be back next week with more Wednesday morning, about to say quarterback. Beta tester. Monday morning quarterback is what I am called. It's based off of. But we'll be back next Wednesday with more Wednesday morning beta tester. Until then, I will see you guys next time.